Good morning. It is my first morning of my solo trip to Disney World, and today I'm heading to EPCOT. It is 7:36 and I'm heading towards the buses. I'm staying at All Star Sports, and so the only way to and from anywhere from this resort is via the buses. They say the buses start running 45 minutes before the park opens. Early entries at 8:30, so the buses should start running about 7:45. Okay, so for future reference, the bus takes about 19 minutes. Bus rolled up on our bus stop at 7:47, and we got off the bus at 8:06. I still have to get used to the fact that the parks here in Orlando open a full hour later than the parks in Anaheim. It's 8:10 right now, and if I was in Anaheim, I would be late for rope drop, but I am still 20 minutes early for early entry. This is my first time back in the park since the new Genie Plus system rolled out, so I was able to make 3 Lightning Lane reservations a week ago. I don't think I can get on those until 9 o'clock, till the park officially opens, if I remember. So I have to now think about what I want to do first. I decided to go on Guardians because the wait's going to be pretty short. I think I've already purchased an individual Lightning Lane for this one as well, but might as well get another ride in. All right, well, that was a fun way to start the day. It's now 9:30, so it took just about an hour. I'm gonna check and see what the wait time is for Test Track. I might hop in line for that one if it's short. Okay, Test Track was showing a 45-minute wait in the app, and at first I was like, meh, I don't know if I want to wait 45 minutes. Then I remembered they have a single rider line, so let's test out single rider on the new to me Test Track. It's been open for a few months with this new version, but it's my first time riding it. Okay, single rider is awesome. At 9:30 in the morning, I got through in 4 or 5 minutes to get to a space in the vehicle, and it only took 11 minutes to get off the ride. So I'm gonna go do that again. I shot video on the last one, and now see if I can get some stills of the new ride. I'm not sure how well my photos on Test Track came out. A, because it's not that easy of a ride to photograph things on. It's similar to Radiator Springs Racers. Also, there's not a whole lot to photograph, just pictures of garages and some cars. Probably not very exciting photos. You be the judge. So now, it is 10 after 10. I am going to head over to Journey into Imagination with Figment. In terms of lens performance, I think the 12mm f2 does just fine on Figment, but that lens is pretty wide, and so there are a lot of scenes where the image is going to show the subject being a lot farther away than I'd probably want it to be. So here's a few images to check out in the 12mm focal length, but with the 45mm, I can punch in a lot tighter and get a lot of close-up detail shots, especially of all the little Figment characters that are on the ride. So for this ride, I think it's better suited for a telephoto lens, anything from 45mm up to 75 in micro four thirds. So that's maybe 90 to 150 in full frame terms. All right, Journey into Imagination ride complete. Figment's theme song firmly embedded in my psyche for the next 2 months. And it is now 11:35, and I have a Lightning Lane for Living with the Land at 10:45, so I think I'm gonna head over there. Kind of like with Journey into Imagination with Figment, there's not a lot of wide-angle friendly stuff on Living with the Land. The farmhouse scene looks kind of okay, but if you go too wide, you either get the roof of the boat or you get the ceiling of the attraction, which doesn't look very good. But there isn't a whole lot to photograph. It's hard to get good, pleasing compositions in the greenhouses. But here's a few photos with the 12mm. I mean, they work for a few things. I like a few of the shots from the rainforest and the American Plains section. And again, the farmhouse looks kind of cool. And later tonight, when the line dies down, I'll jump in again and use the 45mm because I want to punch in and get a little more detail on some of the stuff, especially in the farmhouse scene, and see what the bison and the plains scene look like at 45mm. Now, it's 11:15. I've pretty much gone on all of the Lightning Lane attractions that I want to go on this morning, and I think I'm going to bounce out of the park for a little bit because I want to explore some of the EPCOT area resorts like Swan and Dolphin over by International Gateway. because the next time Nicole and I come here, we're going to probably strongly consider staying at some place like Swan and Dolphin because it has a lot of the perks of a deluxe resort, but at a moderate resort price. So from International Gateway, it only took me 15 minutes to get over here to the Swan and Dolphin. It's taken me longer to walk to Disneyland from some of the resorts that are literally right across the street. I think the next time I come for food and wine this time of year, I'm going to stay here at Swan and Dolphin so I can spend a lot of time at Epcot and get early entry and get extra evening hours for the cost of a moderate resort. I love their convenient location. They have some really nice pools. They have kind of two standard kind of rectangular pools with lounges and cabanas and all the usual stuff. And then they have what they call the grotto pool, which has a waterfall and a bunch of other cool stuff. So pretty neat place if you're into hanging out by the pool, which in this weather I would be. But now it is 1:15 and I'm heading back through International Gateway. Haven't even been anywhere on World Showcase yet, so I'm going to spend the rest of the day probably hanging around World Showcase. Online, there are two opinions as to how to do World Showcase. Do you work it clockwise or counterclockwise? Do you start in Mexico and finish in Canada? Or do you start in Canada and finish in Mexico? But I'm starting in Mexico because the Grand Fiesta Boat Tour is only a 5-minute standby and I need some AC. So let's do that. So I ran through once, shot some video, and then also shot with the 12mm lens. There's a little section in the middle of the ride that's kind of like Small World. It's got some puppets and some dolls. So that might look okay in wide angle. That might look better in telephoto. So I got off the ride, switched lenses, got back on with the 45, and shot a few close-ups. So we'll see how those come out. Then I went over to La Cava del Tequila after I got off of Grand Fiesta Tour and purchased myself a Paloma, which is one of my favorite tequila or mezcal-based cocktails. This one has both in it, and it's very, very good. So now I'm gonna walk around, drink a little bit, and see what else is here. I already had my Paloma in Mexico, and now I visited a pop-up food and wine booth for Spain, and I had what seems counterintuitive for a 95-degree day with 60% humidity, just a hot steaming bowl of paella, and I got just this amazing Spanish wine. I absolutely love Spanish wine. I love the peppery, spicy smokiness of a lot of Spanish wine. All right, I am in Italy. I am in fake Italy. I'm a little saddened because the wine bar used to be a place I could go and just sit down at the bar, order a wine flight, order an appetizer, sit and chat with the people behind the bar, learn about Italian wine. I did that in 2018, the last time I really spent any time here at this pavilion. And today, at least, it's not set up that way. So today it was either table service or just walk up to the bar and get something to go. The sky doesn't look as dramatic to my eye as it probably does to you on the camera, but I think we're gonna get a little bit of weather. I also have a lightning lane for Frozen Ever After, starting right about now. So I gotta finish this Italian wine and head over there. After getting off of Frozen and emerging from Frozen into a torrential downpour. And this is why you bring waterproof stuff to Orlando. I ducked into the Mexico pavilion because it was close. And so I helped myself to another tequila drink. I got the wild one. This is the one that everyone talks about because it has a salt and black ant rim. It is very tasty. I highly recommend it. Do not be afraid of the insects in the garnish. You hardly taste them, you don't even see them. So now I'm on my way to ride the seas with Nemo and Friends. We have this ride in Anaheim, but our version in Anaheim is the repurposed submarine voyage. So it's the same story, but it's not as cool as being inside a 70-year-old submarine. The only cool thing about this ride, I think, is they have the projections in the actual aquarium. So you see Nemo and Dory and all the characters from the movie swimming around in a tank with real fish and real sharks and real rays. So that's kind of neat because you can still pay to come and scuba dive in this aquarium. I did that back in 2018. It was really, really cool. I really want to do it again. And I really want to dive down to the part of the tank that the guests see from the ride. I think that would be really fun to be underwater making faces at people as they're watching Nemo and Dory on the ride. So stay tuned for that video at some random time in the future. So now it's 7 o'clock. The park closes to regular guests at 9 because there's an after-hours event going on until, I think, 1 in the morning. I'll find out because I have tickets to that after-hours event because I wanted to spend more time in Epcot with fewer guests where I could hopefully do some photography of a mostly empty park. I know all of the attractions are going to be open, so I haven't gone on Remy's Ratatouille adventure yet. I'll have plenty of time to do that tonight. What I don't know is whether or not the shows are going to stay open, so I really want to catch the American Adventure over in the America Pavilion because it's a really neat show if you're a fan of old school audio animatronics. There are a ton of them in this show, so from a technical or a technological standpoint, it's just a really fascinating show to watch. So after American Adventure, I ran over to Japan. I was hungry, I needed something to eat quick, so I just grabbed some sushi. I grabbed their little Tokyo sushi combo, which is 4 pieces of California roll and 3 pieces of nigiri. There was a salmon, a tuna, and a shrimp. Pretty standard stuff, but it's consistent and it's good. And I got the violet sake slush. So for the people who bought the after hours hard ticket event, Epcot stays open till 1 a.m. So most of the attractions in the park are going to remain open. All of the rides, for the most part, are going to remain open. At the beginning of the event, they give you a little sheet that shows you what's open and what some of the activities are. There's going to be DJs and bands and a bunch of that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. Almost all of the rides are going to remain open. I don't think the rest of World Showcase is going to stay open. So I'm going to cruise over to World Showcase and see what it looks like as it's clearing out. One of the reasons I booked this was because I had hoped to be able to get some photos of a mostly empty World Showcase. So my best chances of doing that are probably right about now as the park is emptying out before they start closing it down for the event. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. I am here on World Showcase and look, there is nobody behind me. And there is nobody in front of me as we head towards Mexico. Just me and this rabbit. Hi, buddy. It's kind of cool. As soon as the people go away, the wildlife comes out to scavenge the leftovers. That's pretty hilarious. So as suspected, they have closed World Showcase from Norway all the way around to France. So Mexico, Norway, Canada, UK, and France are the only pavilions that are available. So trying to walk farther, they have cast members and a rope up to restrict access, which makes sense. It would be nice if we could at least still walk around World Showcase, but I get it. I think I may go over to Yorkshire County Fish and get something to eat. I was gonna go for Guinness, but I saw they had a beer that I have not had before on draft at Rose and Crown. It's called Sullivan's. It's an Irish ale. It's dark, it's malty, it's roasty. It's not sweet, it's not sugary, like other things you might know, like Killian's. It's nothing like Killian's. It's nothing like Smittix. This is way drier, way more roasty. Not super, it's got bitterness from the roastiness, so it reads as bitter, but it's not like hoppy bitter, not like ESB Fuller's bitter, but very, very good. And of course I got the fish and chips from Yorkshire Fish Shop because they're open till 11. All right, consumed my fish and chips, and now I have calories for the night. I apologize if you can't hear me, there's a lot of background music. Now I'm gonna head over to France and get in line for Remy because I didn't ride it today yet. The wait is only a posted 10 minutes and it's less than that. It's basically a walk-on, so I focused just on filming with the DJI on my last trip, so I'm gonna go again with the 12mm. So there's one scene where you're going through the refrigerator in the restaurant and everything is real, it's 3D. There's fish hanging from the ceiling and sausages and olive oil and produce. And so that's kind of a fun scene to photograph. That's kind of the only scene that's really able to be photographed because everything else is screens. All right, it's midnight now. I am finished with rides for the evening, I think.
I've got an hour left until the park closes, so I'm going to head back to World Showcase. There's only 5 countries that I have access to: France, England, Canada, Mexico, and Norway. But I'm going to try to see if there's any kind of photography to be had in those areas. Every ride I've gone on since the event started has been a walk-on, which is pretty nice. So if you're interested in doing extra passes on rides, the after hours events are probably a pretty good value for you, because when you buy Lightning Lane, you can only go on one ride. You can only go on each ride once. But if you pay for this after hours event, you can just loop your favorite rides over and over and over again, because everything's walk-on. So if there's a certain ride or 2 or 3 that you really love and want to ride those 5, 6, 7 times, it might be money well spent for you. On the other hand, if you are a food and wine type of person and you think that an event like this is going to give you more access to food and wine, this is not a good buy. All the food and wine booths are closed. Most of World Showcase is closed. Almost everything is closed except Yorkshire Fish Shop, which closed at 11, and Rose and Crown is still open all the way till the end of the event. I think they're the only place still serving alcohol. So yeah, if food and drinks are your thing, probably not a good buy, but if rides are your thing, definitely do it. Okay, so France done. Got a few shots. I do like this 8 to 25 millimeter lens. It lets me get nice and wide, lets me get kind of close and immersive. Doesn't have a lot of reach, but I think it's pretty versatile for this type of architectural travel style photography. I'm in the UK now. Nobody's back there because the only thing open right now is Rose and Crown. All the little side streets, totally deserted. So I think I got some nice shots in there. 1, 2 seconds, half a second, handheld. The IBIS on this OM1 is good enough. I don't really need the tripod. So now I gotta walk across the entrance to World Showcase and boogie over to Norway, and then I'm gonna work my way back to Mexico. I almost forgot about Canada. This kind of castle-looking building is really cool, but from up close, it's really hard to frame. So I'm just gonna walk back here to the back and see if there's anything. It's quiet. I think they shut off the waterfall. Yeah, not too exciting back here, so sorry, Canada. All right, there's actually not a whole lot to shoot in Norway. There's a huge part of the land that's under construction. There's this huge construction wall here, and then the whole section over by Akershus and Frozen Ever After is all stanchions and ropes and signs. It's not very photogenic. I got a few photos of the Stave Church, and I shot a few photos looking through the windows of some of the shop displays. There was some cute stuff in there. So now the last country that's available to me to photograph in World Showcase is the Mexico Pavilion. Okay, got a few shots in Mexico, got a few shots of the outside of the temple, got into the temple, got a shot of some of the Dia de los Muertos decoration. Now it's time to start making way to the exit. All right, so it's 1:10 in the morning. The event is over. I never quite made it to Journey of Water with Moana. I missed it by 3 minutes. They had closed the exhibit, so I didn't get a chance to run through and take any photos, but I think I had a lot of fun anyway. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thanks for watching. If you've stuck with me this long, thank you very, very much. I have no idea how long this video is gonna be. I'm getting tired just thinking about how long it's gonna take to edit. But if you found this interesting, you found it helpful, you wanna see more of this style of kind of vlog content, give me a like and give me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in Magic Kingdom, and I have reservation for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in the evening. So it's going to be another 17-hour day. So I can't wait. See you then.